Hi there, I'm Bill Takas with Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College, and I'm here with Teresa Foulger, and we're going to talk today about creating video pep talks for students so that even if you are not meeting in a synchronous manner, for example, with fully online students, they can see you and hear your message. So Teresa, tell us more about this strategy for faculty. Tell us all about this strategy.
Well, I guess one of the things I've learned with teaching online is that I miss that engagement with my students, and it's really hard for them to come together in a synchronous meeting is difficult. They're online students, and they don't see that as a part of the pedagogy. But I want them to know my presence. So I do all kinds of little things within my course to help them know that this is me talking to them. And so one of the things I do is quasi just in time messages that might go out to them, but in a personal video. So literally I can hold my camera, I can be anywhere in this world. I can be out on one of my hikes and I just decide I want to talk to my students. So I'll pull up my camera and say, okay, I've been thinking about your last submissions and here's a couple of reflections I have. And I just lean in, literally and figuratively, like lean in and talk to them and say, okay, here's what I saw, and so
Yeah,
like I can give them personal feedback and messages, and that can go to individual students. They love that, absolutely
yeah,
love that. But it also can be blasted out in weekly messages to students. Like I love to do it after I get all my grading done. And then I have little notes as I have graded about some themes and trends and issues or accolades or whatever. And then I talk to them about it. And even hold up my notes in front of me and say, okay, here's some of the things I noticed. So
yeah.
I just
That's terrific.
oh,
So I love how comfortable you are in front of like this Zoom camera. I know that faculty sometimes struggle with this, and I hear faculty talk about how they miss like being in person. That there's something about being in person that like they're having a disconnect, right? But faculty, from what I'm seeing, that your comfort level is that barrier or that gap that faculty say that they're feeling doesn't have to be there. That maybe it's not as big a gap as we sort of stress out about or complain about or like feel that there is. So it sounds like maybe there's a mindset that you have that you bring to this because you bring such a comfort level, and I can just see your energy coming across. So it sounds like there's a comfort level. So what is the motivation or the energy that gives you this comfort level so that all this stuff comes through and like the in-person feeling is it sort of drifts away? Like we miss the in-person aspect less. How are you accomplishing that? How are you like, I think that's maybe a key that faculty would love to hear from your perspective.
yeah.
Tell me about that.
Well, a couple of things come to mind. First of all, as as we are teachers, we do feel comfortable talking in front of our students live. I don't get it. I don't understand why it's different than talking to my own face. Okay, but there is a reason. It's because I'm looking at me right now. I'm not even looking at you. You're up there. I'm looking at me in my own eyes as I'm talking to myself. And that is a drain. That's a brain drain.
Yeah,
And you literally have to get over it, but you have to imagine, literally imagine that you're talking to your students. Like they're standing right here behind me as I'm looking at me, and imagine who they are and what they represent, and imagine that they're listening to you. So I think that's important. Get over the fact that it's recorded and going to be blasted out to the world, whatever.
absolutely.
But something else that helped me, and this happened to me about, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago, I saw my career going to a place where I thought I might be doing some more larger scale public speaking. And so I literally signed up for what's the public speaking groups?
Like Toastmasters or something like that.
I literally went to Toastmasters for about 6 months, and I had such a blast playing with the impromptu speeches. And there was a bunch of engineers and philanthropists, and it was just fun to interact with some new people and practice in a very safe space where nobody knew what I was talking about. Um, this whole idea of public speaking and presence and starting to watch myself. So the other thing I do is I don't afford myself redos.
Right.
It's a one and done. So the practice is in, okay, here's the other thing I do. I get a sticky and I put a little bulleted list of sequenced things that I want to talk about so that I have a good flow to my
Right.
message.
Sure.
Keep it under 2 minutes.
Yep.
Critical. I have a beginning and an end, you know, hey, welcome, whatever. And then I stick my sticky right up here by where I'm going to be looking.
Yeah, genius, genius.
Right. So I can see my message flow, but I'm talking and looking at the students.
Absolutely. Perfect.
So the rehearsal is in my head and on my sticky.
Right.
And it's a one and done record and goes up. I don't fuss with it, but I have to have makeup on first.
Right. Sure. Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. So to keeping to what you're talking about being 2 minutes, we're going to try and wrap this video up short so that faculty can take this advice to heart. So if there's a last thing that you want to give to faculty, any faculty member that's watching this right now in this moment, what is the last thing that you want to tell them before we wrap this up for them?
Talk to your students in video, but expect them to do the same thing back. Create some assignments because students need to learn how to do public speaking as well. Impromptu public speaking like we're doing now.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you, Teresa. This is wonderful. This is Mary Lou Fulton's Teachers College Strategies. Faculty, we hope you go out there and take every piece of this advice from Teresa today. We're here for you and we want to see you succeed. All right. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Teresa, for your time.